Host. All right, let's do this. So I had a guest on last night, Mr. Brett Keane, and well, I was pretty ignorant of his stances on things and his beliefs and what he thinks. And so I went to his channel and clicked the video, and I found this gem. And let me tell you, for all the niceties that we exchange on my channel, it's frustrating to have content like this on his channel. Now, I get frustrated with theists on my channel that put out their arguments and uh, get uh, make assertions that are unjustified or don't think through the implications of their claims and whatnot. I get frustrated, okay? But it's one thing for me to be frustrated with their argument, but it's another thing to do what's going to happen here in this video about a group of people or the way people think about something. And no, I'm not going to open the room because I only have an hour and I have a meeting and stuff. So, and I want to eat my lunch. So, but here we go. You can listen, Jay, and we'll have a good time. So it's one thing to criticize the arguments, criticize the ideas, maybe make fun of some names. And, I do a lot of that in jest. And if I'm interlocking with you, I'm going to ask you questions and try and be an amicable person. And maybe we'll just agree to disagree and we'll move on and we'll make our own content and get into our holy huddles and pat each other on the back and say, well done, well done.
Kent Hovind on the show.
Okay, can you guys? Hopefully, you guys can hear this once I get it started. So I'll start it from the beginning again.
Oh boy. Mm.
Okay, no, hold on. I must have.
We'll be having Kent Hovind on the show Friday, 7 p.m. Well, no, 3 p.m. But tonight we're going to be doing a show at 7 p.m. Central. It's really easy to find my shows. All you have to do is go to the front of my YouTube channel and you'll.
And the other thing is, I went and listened to a different video on evolution, and I commented on it, and then his comment back was, "Show up on my show at this specific time, or otherwise you're a coward and you can't defend yourself." That's not generous interlocking, okay? Declaring that's like saying, hey buddy, I need to beat you up after school, and if you don't show up after school, you're a chicken. It's like, no, of course, no. Of course the person's not going to show up. It's not because they're chicken, it's because they're just using their rational brain. Like, oh, if I don't meet this condition, I don't have to go through this. Because I'm not afraid of Brett or representing myself either.
See upcoming and scheduled shows, and all you gotta do is click notify, be subscribed, and when the show's running, you can go to the description or you can go to the comments. Usually I post the link several times. You can click on it, you come in, you just set up your microphone and your video, what you're going to use. You come in and
technologically illiteracy.
Show. Don't share anything personal about yourself. Don't.
Yeah, apparently his content is recreated or streamed on other platforms, other like radio stations. Terrifying. And it's going to be terrifying for a very specific reason real soon.
Give out your real name. Don't tell people where you're working. I know a lot of you may not realize how dangerous the internet is, but it is, especially for someone who is a former atheist, such as myself. someone who is a Christian who's trying to do the best he can. I've been a theist for a little under 6 years, I would think at this point, if memory serves me right. And it's been, oof, my social media experience has been extreme hell for me.
Social media experience has been extreme hell. Look, you're a Christian content creator. Um, you create content on the internet. You have to be ready for trolls. Like, even I have to be ready for trolls. I have to deal with people that don't like what I have to say. Maybe sometimes I am the troll. This is just the nature of the internet. And if you aren't prepared to handle it, then don't do it.
To be honest with you, I get a lot of atheists who try to invite me to their podcast, and the ones that I've
Try to invite, you just show up.
tried to go in, even though they promise they're going to be nice and respectful, they usually will start getting into personal attacks, ad homs, just really disgusting
When did I personally ever attack you?
behavior. Some of them, it's funny, they'll say on video they don't want to talk about God or religion because they lack a belief in it, but then they invite you to their show.
I love talking about God, religion, evolution, all that stuff. Love it. Love it. Here's your invite. We can talk about the particulars of uh, theology and the particulars of eschatology, soteriology, you name it, ecumenicalism, egalitarianism. What do you want to talk about?
Shows, and that's the first thing they want to talk about is God and religion. And if they can't defeat you in that argument, they want to go after your character personally.
Nope, because I will just say I think you're genuinely mistaken. And that's it. That's the depth of the character that I'll assume or declare.
And I've seen Christians like G-Man, Kent Hovind, Matt Powell, um, my friend Stephen Bolin,
Oh, Matt Powell.
and many, many Christians out there who've suffered the same treatment.
Well, there are abusive and toxic atheists. There are people who have their call-in shows, who do their open rooms, and it is terrible. Or go on to Discord or what's the other one? Clubhouse, and get abused by these toxic people. But it happens from the Christians and the atheists alike. And besides, it's not ad hom if it's true. So if you're going to be disingenuous and someone's like, quit being disingenuous with me, you're not listening to my point, then it's not an ad hom. You're just not listening.
It always starts out where they want to pretend as though they want to debate you or talk to you or be your pal.
I will be friends with you.
And I myself have always been a very cool, laid back guy. I can socialize, I can be friends with anybody. I'm not one of these type of religious people who are out to, force women not to get abortions, even though I'm against it. I'm not one of these type of people who
Well, if you vote for the politicians who try to make it so that women can't get abortions, then you kind of are.
get in the way of
You're an accessory to the murder of a woman who would otherwise be able to live through a non viable pregnancy.
homosexuals who want to get married or have relationships, unless they take an interest or attraction to children. That's about the only time I'll step in. So I'm not one of those types. I'm not mean or cruel. Unless someone gets extremely ferocious with me, then I will defend myself. I will fight back.
Nitty's a nice guy. I struggle to think of a time where I've actually been mean to someone on stream. I don't think I can, yeah, figure for one.
But one of the things that's been dangerous for me is it's obvious. I'm one of the most popular, well-known people on YouTube.
I haven't heard of you until 2 weeks ago.
And people actually know my real name, they know my phone number. And there are several atheist websites out there that have actually posted my home address, and I
That sucks.
get mail sent to me repeatedly.
By the way, if you know my real name, I don't hide that either. You can find my home address because it's public record if you buy a house. That's just the way our country works. It's not hard to dox anybody.
I got one guy who thinks it's funny. At least every couple months, he'll send me a box of fake dog shiznet, as well as a bunch of other things. I've had some people who sent things to me that were apparently what they considered pranks, but
And I think that's uncalled for. I think that's just toxic behavior that I don't support that in my unbelief.
they look like pipe bombs to my home.
Well, that's
I've
pretty
had
fucked up.
people do some pretty ignorant things like that. Nobody ever approached me in society. No atheist has ever like walked up to me directly and tried to give me any crap.
Well, see, good. So are atheists really that dangerous? If we're not accosting you in public, you don't have it harder than the Apostle Paul, right? Who, if we believe his own accounts of his Christian faith, got his butt beat wherever he went. Bloodied, bruised, given 40 minus one lashes.
But my theory on that is because I'm 250 pounds of pure sexual erotic power, I look like a guy who
Wait, hang on, what now?
crap. But my theory on that is because I'm 250 pounds of pure sexual erotic power.
You're 250 pounds of pure sexual erotic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When I listened to this morning, I spit my coffee out. So here we've got the Christian believer telling us that the non-believers are the dangerous ones, when this guy is sauntering through town believing that he is 250 pounds of sexual prowess or sexual erotic power. Jesus Christ. Look, if I conducted myself in life with that amount of genuine hubris, people would think you're an asshole. Okay? Like, uh, well, Michael, he's been around a long time. I think maybe his previous channel got deleted or something. Um, so, but here's the deal. Like, I don't know where in the New Testament it says brag about your sexualness, brag about your physical appearance, esteem your sexiness. Find that verse for me. Thou shalt wave thy dick around. Is is that what we're doing here? Like, I don't get it. I think, yeah, he was banned. Yeah. So I look, you're the one who made that claim. Okay? And you can say that about yourself, you can believe that about yourself, but I think the fewer females who watch my channel and others like it might disagree with you a little bit. And I don't think atheists or unbelievers uh I don't think atheists and unbelievers are uh prevented from engaging with anyone because of their appearance. If their idea is dumb, they're just going to say so. And maybe it is a sarcastic joke, but it was, you know what? I laughed. I laughed. And I hope other people are laughing. But in the context of the whole conversation, to crack a joke like that about yourself, maybe, is still just weird. Like, why would you even say that? I just don't get it. Like, the topic is supposed to be atheists are the dangerous ones, right? Not that you're some, uh, badass figure, and that's why they don't accost you in the streets.
I look like a
Please.
guy who hangs out in a biker bar. I wear leather trenches and heavy metal coats. I grew up basically being like that since the 80s. I've always loved heavy metal and the bands, and
We would have got along.
I love the comfortable feeling of wearing leather jackets. I'm known to, even at my age, to wear concert t-shirts of my favorite metal bands, secular as well as Christian. But one of the other things that is dangerous, besides people trying to get into your personal information, try to get your home address, use your phone number to call you and then leave threatening messages. Um, and I've received, I would have to say, probably over 1,000 messages.
Over 1,000. Oof.
And what I do is when people call, it goes to a thing called Google Voice. Anybody can get it. It gives you the ability to call anywhere you want to in the world, and it doesn't cost a thing. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how Google managed to do that. But if more people knew about Google Voice, then I suspect that people wouldn't spend $50 to $100 a month on a stupid phone when you can do that. Of course, you can't walk around with it unless there's some kind of app.
There is.
But I've gotten over 1,000 messages, and I have the ability when people call, I can see their phone numbers.
Of course, okay. That's how
And
most phones
also,
work.
every message people leave obviously is recorded. So I can easily, I've had to connect
It, most people who are socially adjusted know that, and especially with the laws in our country, that if you leave a threatening enough voicemail to anyone, you can be prosecuted for that. Or at least a restraining order can be put on you, and then your behavior is going to get watched by the authorities. So to say that he's received 1,000 of these and hasn't taken, I hope he's taken legal action to protect himself against, toxic and frustrating non-believers, if in fact they're doing this.
with all these different police departments,
Okay,
where
good.
when someone sends me a threatening message, I can just simply send the MP3 over in a matter of seconds to the police department. And
Good.
unfortunately, there has been some people out there who've gotten in serious trouble, especially the ones who threatened like take out my family
Good.
and do horrible sexual things to myself as well as my family. Had a guy a while back say that he was going to rape and kill my wife right in front of me along with my children.
That's crazy.
Is it
But again, um yeah, tell me how to do it. Uh yeah, I don't know.
scary?
But again, he already said earlier that atheists don't come up to him in public and give him trouble, right?
Is it horrifying to have people do that? Yeah, yeah, it is. But I decided a long time ago, before all that stuff,
It's horrifying for people to declare you will burn for an eternity and your children. It's horrifying to say that indelible qualities to your character make you worthy of hellfire. Things that you ostensibly cannot change about yourself. Your immutable perceptions of your sexual attractions, your um, other desires for recreation. Those things just intrinsically make you worthy of hellfire. You're worthless. You're never accepted. You're unloved. You're God's enemy. That's horrendous to say, isn't it? my God will torture you forever. Which, because you have an in group and backing to say something like that, uh, isn't that like kind of a proxy for your own vindication?
Stuff that this is what I wanted to do with my life. I enjoy being able to get out in social media and talk. And I know some
Sure
of you
do. You
out
show
there,
up on
you
our
would probably say
channels.
something to the effect of, Brett, why would you put your real name out there? Why would you allow people the phone number? Well, the truth is, folks, is that there's hundreds of thousands of people I can think of in the last 20 years on YouTube where they used a fake name or they gave themselves some weird nickname for their YouTube channel. But you have to understand that people look at your videos and they can zoom up. And
Yeah, it's persecution porn. So um, he's basically saying, um, he's basically saying, you can get doxxed no matter how hard you try to not get yourself doxxed. But there's some content later here that I want to cover. So let's try and right. So stalkers, blah blah blah. Okay, here we go.
but it doesn't stop them. And one of the reasons why a lot of atheists are not concerned about this is because of international laws. If someone lives in the UK and they're doing that, on some,
Blah blah. Some more
why am I
persecution.
telling you all this,
There we
folks?
go.
Do I feel like my life's in danger or anything? I've been doing it for 20 years and no one's ever like physically harmed me or anything, but
See, you don't have it as hard as the original disciples. So are atheists really that dangerous?
if you were to do a simple Google search, you will find out that there are maniacs and psychopaths and sociopaths that use the internet all the time, that watch your children on video, that watch you on the internet, and some of them are willing to go beyond the internet and their wire and
But aren't a bunch of people who claim to be Christian doing the same thing? They don't even need the internet. They have like Bible camp for that.
cause actual real devastation to people in their life. If you Google how many people have been murdered by other YouTubers or on social media sites, you would be really surprised. For some reason, YouTube doesn't allow people to post videos talking about
But you posted this one.
um, deaths that have happened due to the negligence and security and safety issues. The only thing YouTube will do is it'll continue to change its terms of service and community guidelines and tell people that if you do this and you do that, you'll be removed off the website. You'll be banned and locked out and all that. But it's hard to find any information about how dangerous it is for YouTubers on YouTube. I wonder why. So you would
I mean, I think that's just a general danger of trying to make yourself a public figure.
have to use like DuckDuck or some search engine and find out. And there's a huge list of YouTubers who've been assaulted as well as killed
Sure.
by deranged people who
But compare that to the number of people on YouTube who are not experiencing that, right? This is inverse survivorship bias. Like like I am just like this shroud, this little corner of the internet that's so tiny, right? Like I am not actively worried about this because there are, tons of Christian YouTubers, tons of atheist YouTubers, tons of Jehovah's Witness YouTubers, Mormon YouTubers that use their real names, that make themselves public figures, are on stream every day. They get feedback, they have trolls, they probably get verbally attacked or, in the comments, blah, 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 blah. Nothing happens. You know who it really does seem to happen to, though, are the people that are very interested in creating controversy. That's the kind of people. Well, okay, you could say like the religious space does create a lot of controversy, but I mean like interpersonal, like drama and controversy. And I've watched a fair amount of like serial killer or murder investigation YouTube, like This Is Monsters, or um, what's the other one? That Chapter. The great YouTube channels. You should check them out. Uh, and in almost every case where someone has a strong online presence and is murdered, it's because of some personal drama going on adjacent to their channel, or their content creation was just incidental. It's just part of the story. It's not that because they were on YouTube they got murdered. It's they got murdered, but they also had a YouTube channel. So it, if you want to like make a correlation here, you have to prove that in fact it was the YouTube channel that caused their murder. And again, in a lot of cases, it's already someone they know offline that has a problem with the controversy. The murder by an anonymous or unrelated person across the internet is extremely rare. It's got to be like the farthest statistical outlier uh, in in that set of numbers. I almost guarantee it.
To watch YouTube. It's serious stuff. Yeah. If
So
people can get
serious.
you fired, or they can cause your children to get taken away, if they can get you hurt in some way, if they can call up like former ex-wives or your family members or your kids, they'll go through your Facebook. They'll call people and try to do whatever they can. It's kind of like it's like a form of internet rape, I guess.
It's a form of internet sexual assault. Really? Really? We're going to go there. Like the kind of pushback you get, Brett, on streams, I will say, from what I've seen so far. Not even close. And you even said you don't get accosted in the streets, so if your personal information, if you are that uh, afraid, then you probably should just stop speaking out. Cease being a public figure. Cease being a source of controversy and frustration for people. Like, isn't that the solution? Like, hey, I'll just deplatform myself so that we don't have to have this disagreement anymore. I'll agree to disagree with you, but all way over here as long as you don't bother me. Right? If you're that scared of this, then why are you still doing this? It's almost like you're inviting that back onto yourself. God.
Or rape in general. These people feel powerful and relevant and significant if they can.
Nope, I don't feel powerful, relevant, or well, actually, I do feel relevant and I do feel significant because there are people interacting in the chat and it's pretty cool. But I don't feel powerful at all. I've got like 200 and some subs. I mean, who cares? I'm just this little dude.
Can actually affect the lives of others. That's one of the reasons why it's considered a crime. The more destruction they cause, the more happy they are about it. So I understand that the next thing I'm about to tell you.
Look, I'm an atheist. I don't want to cause any destruction. I don't want people's kids to be unlawfully taken away. I don't want them to get divorces. I don't want them to get banned. Yada, 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 yada. But I am going to push back against bad ideas or misunderstandings of theology. Let's do it. Let's do that.
Is probably going to make you go, whoa, I don't know if I want to do this or not. But again, like I said at the very beginning of my video, I am doing a live show tonight at 7 p.m. and I'll be doing many, many more live shows where anybody and everybody's welcome to come in and chat with me. But I wanted to tell you all this because if you come on my live show, make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you make the effort and keep.
What does that say about your audience when you need to say, if you come on my show, protect yourself? That shows a real. Do you really distrust your audience that much? Like, I trust all of you guys not to dox and frustrate my personal life, and that you'll respect the theists that come on my channel. And you do. You guys do a great job. And like, I just don't get why. Like, okay, like I'm not on here saying, guys, you got to protect yourselves when you come on my stream. You never know when a theist might drop a pamphlet on your door, or they'll send you a mailer that you didn't want, or an email. God forbid they send you an email directly to your digital inbox. Ugh.
Keeping yourself safe and the people that you love. You're going to get heard by thousands of people. So just don't let people know who you are or what you're about in your real life.
But you can say, hi, my name is Dr. Kent Hovind here. Down here at the ranch, we've got a lot going on, okay?
Protect yourself, be safe, because I love you and God loves you. But there is evil in the world. And yes, I will finish the video out with this. A majority of the problems I've had throughout my internet existence and social media have been directly from the non-believer community.
I'm shocked because I think that there's a strong possibility that you can have a bunch of problems from the believing community if you went to their channels and interacted with them there too. I would like to see Brett go on to channels like Rebecca's, interact with people on Capturing Christianity, Pints with Aquinas, and see how far it goes. For real. And see how the pushback goes for him there, or Troy Black's channel, or K Nash. Let's see how that goes. And you think the non-believers are going to give you trouble in the chat? The believers can be just as vitriolic, or LPP. You want to spend some time with LPP? Well, I will send him to all the people who love Jesus, so he can know them and have intimate and deep fellowship with them through live streams. Let's do it. Let's send the bridge troll to the other trolls so that the trolls can eat each other. I like it.
Atheist. Even whenever I was a former non-believer myself, these people, I seen them, I observed them do horrible things. And it's one of the reasons why I realized that there was something wrong with them.
These Christians, I've seen them do horrible things. You know, they think that beating their kids with a wooden spoon for discipline before that they can understand right from wrong is a great way to teach moral lessons to your children. They think that standing on street corners and yelling that people are condemned will burn and suffer forever. That's when I knew that these are some real horrible people. When I heard that Christians in the 14th century used to erect metal 15th century rather used to erect metal cages in their cathedrals to put the atheists in while they had service and starve them to death above them, that's when I knew the Christians were really messed up. You see how this just is like, I'm going to make blanket statements about a people group or an ideological group that are unfounded when particular outliers or interlocutors come through and go, hey, wait a minute, I don't really want to do that. I'm not in favor of that. I don't think that way. Yes, but the true Christians, they're the good ones. Okay. Well, I'm here to tell you that the true atheists, they're the good ones. The real atheists understand that there's only one life to live, that we have to make the best of this road trip that we call life, and we're not going to get a second chance. The real atheists, they want to treat people with gentleness, respect, and humility. Because, again, that's what they would want from the person they're interlocking with. To have a generally socially cohesive life, to enjoy what little they have before them, and to understand where we're all going. What can we do to help each other? Well, he's been showing up on my show, and I had to get into the content and see what he's got to say, because I legitimately did not know. But here we go. The real atheists get it. That this is our one shot. We got to make the best of this. So let's not be total buttholes. Let's not hurt people. Let's try to improve the ways that we think. Let's try to get some data into this. Let's try to clear up our misunderstandings. Titan, you tried to tell me. Yeah. Yeah. It's too late. You're right, Jamie. It's too late. I think that's enough, though. I think that's enough of that. So thank you, everyone in the chat, for bearing with this. Defend the true atheists out there that want the betterment of um, other people's existences, that don't want to be insufferable, that don't want to just go around doing all the essay they want and kitty diddling or whatever that theists think that uh, once they lose their belief, they just get justification to go do. Be the atheist you want to see in others. True atheists are cowards. No! Dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, hey, I hope that the future of my channel shows that atheists, we're not really that dangerous. I mean, I live in a pile of Legos. Okay? Some of us do want to talk and do enjoy the Bible, theology, getting our heads around complex philosophical ideas. It's fun, it entertains us. So you're welcome to come like, comment, subscribe, dislike, whatever. The engagement's fun. Well, that's why we do it. All right, I'll take any closing questions from the chat. What do we got? Keane is a black hole in space, incredibly dense, and nothing escapes the gravity. Yeah, not even my channel. Lego can be dangerous. It's sharp and edgy. Yeah, um, you have to throw sharp Lego pretty hard to get it to puncture skin. Are you a determinist now? What? Geez. So like, that's a tricky one, because if you say, like, if you mean it in like the grand scheme of things, like, I don't know how much free will I have. I have like experience of what I presume is a freeness, but I can't control the overall inputs of my environment, of my even my personal psychology is affected by the food that is available to me. I seem to be preferring choices, but I don't know how to get out. Like, I don't think I have libertarian free will beyond like to stop myself from breathing or to um, believe that I'm a unicorn and I just can walk on all fours all day long and rub my horn and fart rainbows. Like I can't choose for any of those things to become a reality, nor can I really choose uh, some broader, maybe more rational things, right? I can't just freely choose to be working at another place of employment. Like I can't just walk somewhere and just be like, I work here now. BS. That illustration or thought experiment of becoming the rainbow farting unicorn is just for you, so that you can make an animated short of exactly that. Um, now, yeah, and I think a lot of us can't actually control a lot of the factors that go into the production of our lived experience. So, in that sense, I guess I'm a determinist who's stuck with the perception that I make choices. And I think we all are. I'm a charitable determinist. Can we put it that way? Let's see. Any other questions? I wish I could freely choose to, give myself the Ormond fighting bod. Like I want that, but that choice is going to take a lot of other, micro choices and things. I can't just will muscles and sexy fighting prowess. So there you go. BS, you have some thieving to do for real. All right. Well, it was a good lunchtime with y'all. I gotta prepare for a meeting here in a little bit, so it was great hanging out with you. Thank you for all the views and new subscribers. You guys are great people. Please, when you go onto Christian channels, when you leave comments, try to understand them. Troll if you want to, but don't be a doxy butthole. Don't feed the manatee. All right. And that's Nitty. We'll see you next time.